being a result of the number of people leaving, when it categorically, obviously, evidentially and numerically isn't. The numbers are coming down. That's why he started targeting disabled people and people who are between jobs and children with ADHD. Why were we going?
You're about to watch someone argue that Nigel Farage has poisoned the country with racism, that the battle is lost, that the genie is out of the bottle and can never go back in. And then, in the same breath, admit that Farage is already running the show. He's already won. Immigration is already coming down. And the person saying all this? He sounds less angry about it than disappointed that you're not already on his side. No one tests a single claim. No one asks, if immigration is plummeting and Farage is winning, what exactly are you warning us about? Watch what happens when consensus replaces questioning.
This is not good for the country. This is not good for the country. But people like me don't matter. We lost. That game is over. Explaining that economic growth is contingent upon freedom of movement, or that if you have a mobile young workforce coming from the largest trading bloc in the history of humanity and you're part of it and they can come and go as they please, that these are all positives. That battle was lost. You know, that is why our economy, one of the reasons why our economy remains in the doldrums. It's one of the reasons why our immigration figures for a while had to rocket to replace all the people that we told to clear off. And, of course, people like Boris Johnson were never open or honest with you about that. All that ever got reported was the numbers, and all the people that were in the party that was governing at the time the numbers rocketed have either washed their hands of it completely, or the very, very worst of them, the most dishonest, the most disingenuous, the most dissembling, have crossed the House and joined the outfit that Farage fronts. That's where we are. It doesn't matter that plummeting immigration is bad for the country, fiscally bad, economically bad. It doesn't matter. The battle is lost. The people who want immigration to come down, and come down far, and come down fast, are in charge. Not, just of the government, because Shabana Mahmood's policies go to places that even some Tories would have balked at, but of the country. They are in charge of public discourse. There are books to be written, and I may yet write one of them, about how and why this happened. In fact, I kind of have already, if you want to have a look at how they broke Britain. But what you unleash when you allow racism back into the public space, you can never get back again. You can never rebottle it simply with argument and rhetoric. It's visceral. It's primal. It's ancient hatred that is being fanned and flamed and encouraged and fermented. And some people are very, very good at it. Their name also begins with F, actually, just like fanned and fermented. And you can't get it back in again. The only way that you can reduce this concern, that you can address this issue, is evidentially. Which is why I have a very odd question for you this morning. Or at least I have a very normal and obvious question for you this morning, born of a very odd sensation. One that I may regret by 10:30, but I'm going to tell you now. I think it might work. So if I'd gone out of bed on the wrong side, I'd be sitting here saying none of it matters. Because you get a little bit distracted, you get a little bit hypnotised by the sort of racists that turned up on the hate march that Stephen Yaxley Lennon led this weekend, and you think they represent everybody who's concerned about immigration. This might be my sweet summer child naivety kicking in once again, but I'd rather be naive than nasty. And people who have been fed an unleavened diet of anti-immigration rhetoric, which had to happen for Brexit to occur. People who have been fed an unleavened diet, that genie of bigotry and racism that was let out of the bottle in 2016. You can't get it back in the bottle. You're going to need a better bottle. And I still believe that my fellow Brit is capable of responding rationally to this news. Not the first time it happens. But the trend, the movement. So, I'll go to my inbox and show you the kind of people who we have allowed to dominate the discourse, the kind of people that we sometimes think represent all of the people who profess concern about racism. It's Tamara in Telford territory, this, a wonderful woman that we took a call from a couple of years ago when I was attempting to identify the constituency of people who would actually respond to falling immigration numbers. So here's James. He's not one of those people. He's a nasty racist, and he writes, veterans on the street and illegal rapists in hotels, vile man. So he not only doesn't care about rapists who are white, or indeed about veterans on the street who he has never done anything at all to help, but he also hates the fact that immigration figures are coming down because his camouflage is being stolen. His ability to pretend that he's not a massive racist, I'm just very concerned about the numbers, is dissolving in front of him. So he's getting cross with me. He's shooting your friendly neighbourhood messenger. And Farage will be furious as well. So much so that he will lie, even to Nick Robinson of the BBC, unchallenged and unchecked, about why these figures are plummeting. He will lie through his nicotine-stained teeth about net migration being a result of the number of people leaving, when it categorically, obviously, evidentially and numerically isn't. The numbers are coming down. That's why he started targeting disabled people and people who are between jobs and children with ADHD. Why were we going?
So let's be clear what just happened. A commentator spent 5 minutes insisting that racism has been unleashed and can never be bottled again, then admitted that the policy he opposed has already won, immigration is already falling, and the public has already moved on. He knows he lost. He knows the country doesn't agree with him. His response wasn't to ask why, or to present evidence for his position. His response was to call people racist and hope you were already convinced. That's the whole thing. No pushback. No contradiction. No one asking, if the numbers are actually plummeting, why are you still framing this as a crisis you can't control? He doesn't answer because he can't. Tell me where the actual argument is. I'll wait.